like how I hear it. These the OG drums. Yeah. I really found them this time. Shout out to let's go. Let's go. Surfing a wave. Shabbat Shalom. Happy strong. Now let's renew. Shalom. I hope everyone's ready to be charged up. We just surfing a wave. Hawa, hawa. We got the drums back for real, shout out to yo, let's go. Max say hi to everyone still tapping in with us with the GoFundMe. Max hi to all the real wave surfers. We appreciate that. Max hi. Alahua. So we're gonna get ready to surf the wave, Shabbat. We got a lot in store. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but you know, we're gonna do what we do. Max Aha to you for being the real billionaire that you are, a real elemental that you are. 'Cause this is just a wonderful time to be charged up. A wonderful time to be charged up. Allahu, we won. We won. We won. We won. We won. We're gonna get straight to it, Shabbat. Max Ahab, you know we in the zone. I'm charged up, I hope you charged up. Cause them Nagas are back, and I mean, them Naginis are back. Max Ahab, Halahoa. Shalom to the real ones. I know we had the war drums. We're gonna continue to build our charge. But you know, I just wanted to shift the attention over here to our TikTok vibration. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to build this vibration, this frequency on TikTok, and you know, this is just my go. We just surfing the wave, and we're gonna get a little bit of this wata, you know what I'm saying? This is specifically for, you know, TikTok, and you know what I'm saying, just a message, of course, as we continue to build on this negative vibration. So hey, to the real ones, let's surf the wave. I'm just trying to help you remember, because when you remember, well, you start to see things just like this.
If you awaken from this illusion and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life, you can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. What you are basically, deep, deep down, far, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself, the ultimate reality, only you're pretending you're not.
You know, and if your creation isn't a fluke, and you're just within the flow of this creation, well, you know, the existence is Hawa, and that Hawa is existence. You know what I'm saying? So continue to surf the wave with a real one. We're going to continue. Aha. Because see, when you surfing the wave the way we do, you know what I'm saying? When you surf the wave the way that we do, well, it's definitely an interesting vibe. When you say Shabbat, to say the least. So, let's see what we got. Hey, hop to the real ones. I hope your vibe is magnetic. Happy strong once again. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do you see? What do you see?
You see that?
Oh.
Yo, you gotta get that bag. We talking
What
clear quartz vision, right?
Oh my gosh.
Crystal clear.
Oh my gosh. What do you see? What do you see?
Can you see that?
Magnificent.
Oh,
I mean, you just look at that view. Run that back one more again.
see what?
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my gosh! What do you see? What do you see?
Can you see that?
When you get your vision right and it's crystal clear, like we're saying, you begin to see the wave in a clear, crystal way. Let's continue to surf the wave, Shabbat. See, we're talking crystal clear, you know what I'm saying? Really, really clear. Dragonfly 360, 720 perspective, you know what I'm saying? And they don't like you seeing your natural kingdom in this clear perspective, this dragonfly perspective. Because keep in mind, them Nagas are back, and this is a charge for the Nagas, for the Naginis. The Dracons are back, alright? Because we were created by the source. By the source. But you see, this is your natural beauty, Shabbatah. You know what I'm saying? This is your natural beauty. I want to be able to get it back one more time. Let's see if, you know. Yeah, let's see if we can do that there. Let's start the wave. Amazing. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. Let's run that back one more time. Oh, there we go. Shalom, we're going to carry on. Hey, see, this is a constant charge for the Shabbat, you know. This is a constant charge for the Shabbat, and this is just a max Ahab, a big Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Much Baruchs to the flow that is the Shabbat, man. Talking Nagaville, because we're just digging on some negative energy. You know what I'm saying? In fact, go ahead and check out that new CJ battle one time. You know what I'm saying? Ahab to the Khan CJ battle. He just dropped some, you know, some new vibes for the tribe. You know what I'm saying? Max Ahab to the Khan out there in Japan. Go check that vibe. Go surf that wave. We talking CJ battle. You know what I'm saying? Ahab. But, you know, as we're building, we're going to get into this, you know, dark oxygen. Again, we were just looking at your natural kingdom. We are talking your Anian. Always keep in mind, Shabbat, you are in the land of Anian, Regnum. That is India Superior. Talking big Nagaville, Joy World. You know what I'm saying? Surfing the wave. And as we surf the wave, well, as a tribe, we all got a vibe, right? And we just been vibing, Shabbat. We just been, man, magnetizing as a wave. And it's a beautiful flow when it's like that. No matter what anyone else is saying, no matter what the hijack is saying. But we're going to surf the wave on what in the world is dark oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how to the cons? Are we talking igneous rocks? We just got to looking at some type of igneous rocks in this Grand Canyon. You know what I'm saying? This Grand Canyon. Let's go.
This dark oxygen was just found at the bottom of the ocean. Here's the deal. Some of these seafloor rocks are pulling off some weird shit. They're producing oxygen through a chemical reaction with no sunlight needed. Like, excuse me, what? Think about that. Oxygen produced in total darkness. I mean, this could change our understanding of life. What's even crazier is researchers think that this process might be happening on other moons and other planets too. Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. So what do you think about this new dark oxygen mystery?
I mean, dodging all hijacks, but, you know, keep in mind, he did say so-called other
this
planets, right?
This dark
And we've been touching on these different planes when it comes to your keys, you know what I'm saying? Your keys or your chakras, you know what I'm saying? That is just the spirals within your your dracons, your individual energy sources. So keep that in mind, right? But also, I know that the volume is low. I think it's his audio, you know what I'm saying? Let me check. Yeah, see, it's his audio. So there's not much I can do on that. But peep it, right? Let's see what's going on.
oxygen was just found at the bottom of the ocean. Here's the deal. Some of these seafloor rocks are pulling off some weird shit. They're producing oxygen through a chemical reaction with no sunlight needed. Like, excuse me, what? Think about that. Oxygen produced
with no sunlight needed. We're talking oxygen, right? Now look at what they're calling it. Dark oxygen. You know what I'm saying? The abyssal seafloor. We've been building on this very thing because we're talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And this transmutation, dealing with this age of so-called transformation. You see what's really happening? So now they're coming into the awareness that oxygen is actually being produced at the bottom where there's no sun, from stones, we're gonna surf the wave from these stones. And our bro is telling us about this primary mem. So we're really surfing the wave on this primary mem, because this is from the sea floor, right? And this oxygen is being created from these stones, these dark stones. It's creating what they're calling dark oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is just a Naga charge for the Nagas and Naginis, all right?
in total darkness. I mean, this could change our understanding of life. What's even crazier is researchers think that this process might be happening on other moons and other planets too.
All right, now keep in mind, he said what he said. Let's continue to surf the way for the real ones. Allah. See, I wasn't, sure I was going to even do this drop. This one kind of came straight out the sky, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? If you can surf the wave on such things, this drop came straight out the sky. Shabbat. And honestly, I had already did a little joint for the Patreon, for the Patreon vibe. I let the con surf the wave over there. And, I was just going to rap with that. But this one, fresh off the press, you know what I'm saying? And as we get into, again, your wonderful flow over here at the site, you guys are continuing supplying this Wata. You got us producing in real time. So in between production, this drop fell out the sky and there was no way to deny sharing this. And you know how it is, Shabbat. When I get charged up, I'm coming straight to you. So, we're going to continue on with this dark oxygen. You know what I'm saying? And we're just surfing the wave on this dark oxygen because it's changing everything that they ever knew about how oxygen is produced on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And we've been building and digging on this dark energy this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no way we making this up, right, Shabbat? There could be no way we're making this up. So let's surf the wave. Allah.
The ocean just got weirder and it's making waves in the scientific world. Scientists just recently discovered, kind of on accident, something called dark oxygen. Right here in an area.
On accident? How do you discover dark oxygen on accident? Surf the wave.
The Pacific Ocean called the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, or CCZ for short. And the seafloor is covered in these funky charcoal-looking rocks.
Wait a minute, so these funky charcoal-looking rocks are being produced in what they're referring to as the Pacific Ocean? Are we talking your Anian Regnum? You see what I'm saying? We're talking your Anian Regnum. I mean, let's get it, right? Because we're surfing the wave on Anian. We got a whole drop dedicated to Anian. Let's get it.
rocks are called polymetallic nodules and are packed with highly valuable metals like manganese and cobalt that are highly sought after by deep-sea mining companies to make batteries for just about every technology. In fact, these nodules are referred to as a battery in a rock. Now it's been discovered that these rocks provide more than just material for batteries. These unassuming rocks produce oxygen without sunlight. It seems almost science fiction because
Oxygen without sunlight, right? Contrary to what we've been taught, that we need all of our oxygen and that we get all of our oxygen from trees. And don't get me wrong, I love our vegetation, I love our greenery, right? But just like how we were building in this Cain series, right? And in the Black Cosmic Adam and Eve, you know what I'm saying? The genetic makeup of Adam and Eve. We're talking about this chlorophyll coloration in contrast with this so-called darkness, right? Just like how we got the drop on the olive, right? We got the drop on the olive, right? No matter how they want to slice it and dice it, we gonna make them tell the truth. You see what's going on, Shabbatai? We gonna make them tell the truth. So instead of all the oxygen, or the only source of so-called oxygen being produced, isn't just from greenery, but it's also from this darkness in the natural kingdom of Abyssinia and Anian, Regnum. You know what I'm saying? Anian, Regnum. That's what we really surfing the wave on. So let's continue to surf the wave.
Sought after by deep-sea mining companies to make batteries for just about every technology. In fact, these nodules are referred to as a battery in a rock. Now it's been discovered that these rocks provide more than just material.
A battery in a rock, and what are the cons surfing the wave on? You know, I don't really use terms like batteries, but, you know, the cons been surfing the wave on these natural batteries and how the body can be referred to as a so-called battery. But get it, right? These dark stones are producing what she's referring to, this good doctor here's referring to as what? A battery?
Are highly sought after by deep-sea mining companies to make batteries for just about every technology. In fact, these nodules are referred to as a battery in a rock. Now it's been discovered that these rocks provide more.
Battery in a rock. Max, hey, hi to everyone surfing the wave at the site, naturalbylaw.net. You know what I'm saying? Scoping the minerals, surfing the wave on the minerals. It's a definite charge, Shabbatai. It is a tribal charge. Allahuah.
More than just material for batteries. These unassuming rocks produce oxygen without sunlight. It seems almost science fiction, because up until right now, we thought the only oxygen factory here on Earth was photosynthesis via living organisms. You know, that thing plants do with sunlight. The idea that oxygen can come from a non-living mineral in complete darkness is bonkers.
You know what I'm saying? We got some drop coming up for you on the Soul Bone Podcast. We got some drop coming up for you on the Soul Bone Podcast. But we're digging on these minerals, you know what I'm saying? This so-called consciousness, man. We're also surfing the wave on this what? Complete darkness. What is she talking about? Complete darkness. What is she saying? Complete darkness. Are we surfing the wave? Shabbat. Man, let's go, right? Let's go.
Bonkers, and completely turns our current understanding of how oxygen is made on its head. But how the heck did scientists even figure this out? Well, back in 2013, Andrew Sweetman, a deep-sea ecologist, was measuring how much organisms on the CCZ seafloor, say that 5 times fast, consumed oxygen. And the measurements were odd. The oxygen levels were not falling as expected. Instead, they rose significantly, to the point where Sweetman thought,
whoa, so they're not falling, but instead they're rising? So we're really talking Anian. I mean, this is just a Dracon flow. Aha to all the Dracons.
current understanding of how oxygen is made on its head. But how the heck did scientists...
Dracon American. We really in a connection, and this is really just a confirmation. You know what I'm saying? Forget your information. This is a confirmation. Max aha to the cons, because we gonna get to it.
Even figure this out? Well, back in 2013, Andrew Sweetman, a deep-sea ecologist, was measuring how much organisms on the CCZ seafloor, say that 5 times fast, consumed oxygen. And the measurements were odd. The oxygen levels were not falling as expected, instead they rose significantly, to the point where Sweetman thought his instruments were broken. And this continued on for the next 5 years. So how the heck are these rocks producing oxygen? They reconstructed the seafloor environment in a lab and then tested the water. And they even took it one step further by poisoning the water with mercury chloride to get rid of any microbes. The oxygen levels...
Man, you see how the hijack gotta think? They gotta poison you just to see if it's real, just to make it pure. Always keep in mind the vernacular and the grammar being used, you know what I'm saying? No shots to no one, but we do surf the wave with words right
still
here
increased
on this channel.
Times fast, consumed oxygen, and the measurements were odd. The oxygen levels were not falling as expected, instead they rose significantly, to the point where Sweetman thought his instruments were broken. And this continued on for the next 5 years. So how the heck are these rocks producing oxygen? They reconstructed the seafloor environment in a lab and then tested the water. And they even took it one step further by poisoning the water with mercury chloride to get rid of any microbes. The oxygen levels still increased. That means that dark oxygen isn't a biological process, it's a geological one, which is beyond not so cool. But that still doesn't answer the question.
I mean, where does melanin come from? Right? We're talking geological. She said it's not biological, it's geological. And where on the earth can you find melanin? I asked this question years ago, right? But we gonna bring it back up. Cause where on the earth can you find melanin? You know what I'm saying? If we're not talking about the melanin rich, if we're not talking about the melanin rich, where on earth can you find melanin? Let's get it, Shabbat.
That means that dark oxygen isn't a biological process, it's a geological one, which is beyond not so cool. But that still doesn't answer the question of how this is happening. Okay, remember how I said that these nodules are like a battery in a rock? Well, it looks like the metals in these rocks are acting like natural geo-batteries and are potentially
What? Get that back for a stack. She said, what? Do you feel this charge with your mans right now? She said, what?
Took it one step further by poisoning the water with mercury chloride to get rid of any microbes. The oxygen levels still increased. That means that dark oxygen isn't a biological process, it's a geological one, which is beyond not so cool. But that still doesn't answer the question of how this is happening. Okay, remember how I said that these nodules are like a battery in a rock? Well, it looks like the metals in these rocks are acting like natural geo-batteries and are potentially splitting seawater into hydrogen and oxygen through a process.
Look at what it's called. Electrolysis. And this is what the anion goes through. Surf the wave. I'm tripping, Shabbat. I'm tripping. Surf the wave. Wow.
They even took it one step further by poisoning the water with mercury chloride to get rid of any microbes. The oxygen levels still increased. That means that dark oxygen isn't a biological process, it's a geological one, which is beyond not so cool. But that still doesn't answer the question of how this is happening. Okay, remember how I said that these nodules are like a battery in a rock? Well, it looks like the metals in these rocks are acting like natural geo-batteries and are potentially splitting seawater into hydrogen and oxygen through a process called seawater electrolysis. It's like that cool science experiment where you drop a battery in salt water and watch the hydrogen and oxygen bubbles, but on a massive seafloor scale. Also, the whole battery in a rock was more of a metaphor until they actually tested the nodules. They were shocked to find almost a volt of charge on the surface of these nodules.
What's a volt of charge? We cannot make this up. I am charged up. Hala Hawaii. We're just talking natural.
The oxygen levels still increased. That means that dark oxygen isn't a biological process, it's a geological one, which is beyond not so cool. But that still doesn't answer the question of how this is happening. Okay, remember how I said that these nodules are like a battery in a rock? Well, it looks like the metals in these rocks are acting like natural geo-batteries and are potentially splitting seawater into hydrogen and oxygen through a process called seawater electrolysis. It's like that cool science experiment where you drop a battery in salt water and watch the hydrogen and oxygen bubbles, but on a massive seafloor scale. Also, the whole battery in a rock was more of a metaphor until they actually tested the nodules. nodules. They were shocked to find almost a volt of charge on the surface of these nodules. For context, a AA battery is around 1.5 volts. Electric charge on a rock, that is not supposed to happen. And the nodules themselves are super fast.
She said that's not supposed to happen. But we know it happened, right? When you surf the wave with us, because we got the drop on the crystals. And we know we get sparks and charge from crystals. You know what I'm saying? We just talking Anian. Oh my goodness, cons. We are surfing the wave. These Naginis are back. These Nagas are back. And we got our foot on the neck of that hijack. And this is just to charge you up with some negative energy. Let's go.
Where you drop a battery in salt water and watch the hydrogen and oxygen bubbles, but on a massive seafloor scale. Also, the whole battery in a rock was more of a metaphor until they actually tested the nodules. They were shocked to find almost a volt of charge on the surface of these nodules. For context, a AA battery is around 1.5 volts. Electric charge on a rock, that is not supposed to happen. And the nodules themselves are super fascinating. They're almost like water fossils. They form around sea debris like a shark's tooth, and when you cut them open, you can see the different layers of metals like tree rings. And these metal layers only grow a few millimeters every million years, with different types of metals being deposited.
I mean, Dow Jones hijack, but we talking that primordial, right? That ancient. So notice that everything that's dealing with that ancient, that primordial, and it still exists, is always coming back to this darkness. You know what I'm saying? And it works in ways that is not easily understood, Shabbat. And that's just the way the Wata flow. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the Wata flow. That's why you just gotta surf the wave, because you never know which way the Wata's gonna go. You never know which way the Wata is gonna go. Hey,
Deposited. So there's a potential gradient between each metal layer that is causing this electrical potential. Right now, it's not crystal clear why the nodules produce oxygen, but what we do know is that approximately half of the deep sea megafauna cataloged in the CCZ was found only on nodules. What is clear is that dark oxygen and electric rocks are rewriting textbooks and reminding us for the millionth time there is so much we don't know about our oceans.
it ain't just the oceans. I mean, we could literally stop the drop right here, right? And that mic could still be a mic drop. But I feel like there's so much more charge to get because I'm charged up. And I think we should carry on. Shout out to Max A to you for being a real one, for choosing up. That is MHOE. I hope you are at KTC. Peace, peace. See, when you recognize and you can see clearly with that 360, 720 Dracon perspective, well, that that reflection, it becomes a personal one. You know what I'm saying? Shabbat, that charge, that reflection, it becomes personal. And understanding that charge, that reflection is personal, but there's no longer any kind or any type of witchcraft that'll ever hijack you again, Shabbat. That there's no witchcraft or hijack knocking you out of alignment again when you understand that this reflection is personal. You are the image of Hawa. And when we say Hawa, well, we're not talking about a religion or legion. No, this isn't something to be pushed on as a doctrine, because this is just a cosmic doctrine. It's a reflection. It's an inner standing. It's a charge, recognition. And that recognition is just the utmost gratitude for the one and those who helped put us into this existence. Hawa, Hawa, for the charge that is Abba and Amma. Cause this is a cosmic shift, Shabbatah. And it's only for a selected few, a chosen few, some might say. But this is a charge directly for the Nagas, the Naginis. Because we are rising out of that abyss. And we're recognizing our Abyssinia as the Ethiopians. For we are the faces of the ether. And realizing this cosmic shift, well, our alignment has us coming back to this awareness, coming back to this breath, coming back to this charge. And this awareness, this charge, well, it's a marvelous build, it's a marvelous vibe. Cause we're just introducing you to you, Shabbatah. We're just, well, helping you find your tribe. We're helping you find your vibe. This is the spark of the divine. You know what I'm saying? This is the ascension, the rising, the kum kum. This is a charge. You know what I'm saying? No, the rituals weren't easy, but Hawa sure makes it look easy. Happy, strong, Shabbat Shalom. This is strictly for my tribe, for my cons. Hawa, Hawa. Cause we are the elementals, Shabbatah. And I just really hope you understand that charge. Cause Hawa, well, Hawa Ahab's you as a real one. And as a real one, well, when you recognize your reflection, when you recognize the image of Hawa, your charge, that great spirit to be, to exist in primordial form and fashion, there is no witchcraft, no white, no black magic that's gonna ever hijack your shit again. Cause it's over for that. It's so over for that. Hello, Hawa. We're just preserving this art. But as we preserve this art, I'm gonna have to give you a charge. But we're gonna carry on. So let's get this charge. Ahab. you all the charge, my Naga. But you gotta be able to see the reflection. And that reflection is the return of these Nagas and Naginis. Right out of the celestial. Cause that is our origin. Allahuwa. You see what's going on? This recognition, well, it completely it discombobulates the hijack. And this is how we wreck their paradigm. Ain't no hijacking you no more, Shabata. It's over for that. Like I told you, this charge, well, it was right away. Alright? So let's continue. Max Tawada. Cause seeing how this is a cosmic charge, and how this is just a divine message from the cosmos, from within. You know what I mean? This is that divine activation. I've been bringing to your attention that this is a concentration of this stellar, this star energy. And we're gonna surf the wave on that vibration, Shabbat. Allahuwa. Cause see, in our last drive, we was building on this astral projection, right? We were building on this astral projection, huh? And this astral projection was said to, well, you know, provide a certain type of travel. But I was just like, are we completely sure we understand what that means? You know what I'm saying? Are we sure we know what that means? So we're gonna go ahead and surf the wave. This is the Magic Ether Buzz, and you should already know by now, Shabata. So let's get it. Allahuwa. Cause see, when we're building on this astral, when we're talking about this astral travel, this astral projection, the term astral is pertaining to the stars. It means a star, right? A star. Star. Pertaining to the super sensible substances. So when we're saying astral travel, we're really saying star travel, huh? Star travel. So as an elemental, you have the capability of traveling through and with the stars. I mean, you do this when you sleep, right? To furthermore dig on this, we're talking about this stir, right? The root meaning star. They also say that it's borrowed from E-star, right? Which is Venus. And again, we're talking about these so-called key points energy centers. Khan. So this star, it's a part of this astral, and it means astral. So we're talking about star travel, or the traveling through stars. All right. We're talking about you as an elemental, being enlightened, coming into this awareness as the image of Hawa. Alright? As a cosmic one. We're just talking about your recognition. Alright? And I'm hoping to bring this recognition to the forefront as we expand and rebuild and refresh your memory. So seeing how this is star and astral means star, and star, well, we're talking about all these different words that are in relation to these stars, this star. All right. Wow. And so building on this star, well, we pretty much got the idea of it, right? A celestial being, a fixed celestial point. We got the Venus situation. Keep in mind, we're still talking chakras. We're also talking meteors. So you know we're talking dragons. If we're talking the astrological sense, we are still talking your zodiac and your zodiac on human affairs. All right. This is the celestial influence, the stellar influence. All right. I just need you to surf the wave with a calm. All right, because we're digging on this astral, which is this star. All right. Not everything is as pagan and demonic as they make it. Just keep in mind, they consider you to be this Lucifer. All right. So as we surf the wave and we're digging on star, well, it was said that this astral travel led you to the astral realm, right? When you astral travel, it'll take you to the astral realm. You know, and this astral realm, well, this astral realm is a kingdom. And we're talking about your Anian. We've been talking about your Anian. So if this realm is a kingdom, well, we're really talking about your kingdom of stars, or your star kingdom, your interstellar kingdom. Just keep in mind, it's tied to your sovereignty, your royalty. And if you can travel in your sleep, well, this is a part of your royal spiritual jurisdiction. All right? We're talking about regal, kingdom, Regnum. Shalom to the Khans. Shalom to the Khans. So seeing how you access this realm as you sleep, Well, this should definitely be something more interesting right about now, Shabbat, because we just talking about your Anian. We gonna carry on. Shalom. Alright, so, surfing the wave on this so-called astral realm, you know what I'm saying? I'm digging with the real ones, and I just gotta bring what's really on my mind, right? I gotta bring out what's really on my mind. So, surfing the wave, I'm like, yo, melanin, you know what I'm saying? And how it relates to the stars. Because I know melanin and the stars have a relation. So it says melanin, a brown or black pigment found in skin, is likely a product of the universe and is also found in so-called space. Now you gotta dodge your own hijack, but it's very interesting, right? Because keep in mind, they don't want you even flirting with the idea of such a topic, right? And this is some real spill elemental talk, because we're talking about how melanin relates to stars. Well, in composition, that is the makeup, right? The actual makeup. It says melanin is made of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen, which comes from exploding stars. You see what's going on? Shabbat, your melanin is made of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen, which comes from exploding stars. See, there's a reason why I tell you that you're this elemental, you know what I'm saying? That you're of this star being, that you're of this cosmic force. This is no joke. But when you're really activated, you know what I'm saying? Well, you begin to understand the science behind this, right? And then you begin to surf a real cosmic wave. So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get comfortable. Because we're about to take off. Anian. Alright. So it says melanin precursor forming reactions can occur in so-called space environments exposed to cosmic rays, stellar winds, and radioactive decay. Alright. It says radiation protection. NASA has sent melanin samples to the International Space Station to test its ability to protect against radiation. Now, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Because in what way are they testing such melanin, and how are they, obtaining it? But it does beg one to, wonder, right? As you're surfing the wave, are you in realization that this is what you're capable of? That this is what genetically connects you to this earth? It's bigger than just a complexion. But those lacking it won't be able to tell you, you know what I'm saying? And that's no shot to no one, but we're just building, you know what I'm saying? Because not even melanated people appreciate this. You can tell, when we bring up these kind of drives, when we speak on this topic, it's not like it's always met and welcomed with open arms. A lot of people just don't care, A lot of people just don't care, but this is for the ones who do, Shabbat, and I hope that's you. So it says melanin and the origins of life, right? Melanin's ability to absorb light and dissipate it through water dissociation may have been involved in the origins of life on Earth. Melanin's intrinsic property of dissociating and reforming water molecules may be involved in the energy dissipation or dissipation, energy dissipation mechanism in stellar space, so-called stellar space. Again, we're talking about this astral travel, and this just means star. So look at this as your stellar kingdom, right? Or your astral realm. We're gonna dodge our own hijacks, but Natural's gonna show you how to cut. You know what I'm saying? Melanin in space research. NASA is researching how melanin pigmentation affects the survival and adaptation of fungi in deep space. The research includes observing how many different repair pathways in melanin pigmentation affect survival and adaptation. Alright, and we've gotten some drop on this before, but we're gonna go ahead and, jump into a little bit more Wata and expound on the topic. So much AHA to the real ones. I hope you charged up. We're gonna continue on. AHA. Alright, so here we have this article, this medical article coming out of MedCrave, right? MedCrave. And this is called Einstein Cosmological Constant. The cell and the intrinsic property of melanin to split and reform the water molecule. Alright, so this is Einstein's breakdown on so-called melanin and how it reforms the Wata. You see why we're always saying that you are the Wata, Shabata? Alright. It says the discovery of the intrinsic property of melanin to split and reform the Wata molecule upended millenniums of scientific and religious wisdom. It is expected that most scientists refuse to accept this theory for years, as has happened in the case of transcendent discoveries in the past. Copernicus, Galileo, and Magellan, for example. You know what I'm saying? So they're letting you know, like, off the back, right? This has always been an issue for so-called modern academia and their forefathers. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the fact that when it comes to this intrinsic property of melanin, it starts to, reroute your whole religious belief and doctrine. And this is what I was saying. This isn't easy for everyone. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, this isn't religious, because we're going to expound on your religious wisdom. You don't even know that most religion is just telling you about the intrinsic properties of so-called melanin and why it's so divine. But see, them Nagas are bad. Them Naginis are bad. And when we're talking about the introduction, right, it says melanin is a ubiquitous biological pigment found in bacteria, fungi, plants, animals, and interstellar space. Keep in mind, we're just talking astral realm, your stellar or star kingdom of stars. It has a diverse range of ecological and biochemical described functions. Biochemical, right? Or bioelemental. Biochemical or bioelemental, okay? Described functions, including display evasion, photo protection, detoxification, and metal scavenging. Melanin is found in fossils, including where is the best preserved compound. its function with both eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells has been primarily relegated to the role of a simple built-in sunscreen. You know, but it's not just no simple built-in sunscreen, right? Hold on, Shabbatel. Because we're not going to get everything. But there was this one thing that he said in this article that was kind of like, what? Or maybe it was just that, huh? I'm gonna keep it stack with you, because we touched on this in previous drops and breakdown, right? So I guess, yeah, my only point in bringing you here was to tell you and show you this interstellar connection, right? How melanin is supposedly found in so-called interstellar space. So we're gonna surf the wave on just what that means, you know what I'm saying? So hey-ha to the real ones, shalom. So, you know, we were talking about melanin and the origins of life, right? We're also building on interstellar. So interstellar is the so-called space in between stars. If something happens or is located in between stars. So if your melanin is interstellar, well, it's the space that is low-key in between the stars. Now imagine that, my nigga. Can you fixate and meditate on that for a quick sec with a con? That your melanin is what's between and located between the astral, the stars. See what's going on? It says the space between stars is occupied by a mixture of gas and dust called the interstellar medium, an ISM, which primarily consists of hydrogen and helium atoms, along with trace of amounts of heavier elements, cosmic rays, and dust particles. Essentially, it is a very thin, sparsely distributed material that fills the space between star systems within a galaxy. Keep in mind for the last drop, we was talking about these dusts, right? This dust, the children of the dust. And if we're talking Adama, when I mentioned it, right? Well, now you know why we were building on dust and why it caught my attention. Because I know what this dust really is. And they want to tell you Africa, but we're just talking celestial stars, your interstellar makeup. It's a little bit bigger than just Africa. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, if melanin is considered to be interstellar, well, would that make melanin as an interstellar medium? You know what I'm saying? And it says, while not directly classified as part of the interstellar medium, research suggests that melanin-like molecules similar to the pigment found in living organisms could potentially exist in interstellar space due to the presence of chemical precursors that can form melanin-like structures under the conditions found in so-called space. Therefore, melanin can be considered a potential component of the interstellar medium based on current scientific understanding. So this is currently understood by the scientific community. And we were just getting the production of this dark oxygen. But if this is the case, Shabata, what does that mean about this so-called space? You know what I'm saying? Can you hear a con right now? Because I keep telling you you're elemental, Shabata. And that message is from Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Because the chemical similarities, the building blocks of melanin like polyacylic or aromatic hydrocarbons are already detected in interstellar dust and gas, making it plausible that melanin-like polymers could form under space conditions. Melanin's ability to absorb radiation, a key function in living organisms, could be relevant in the harsh radiation environment of so-called space. Scientists are actively studying the possibility of melanin-like molecules in so-called space, investigating their potential role in the origin of life. And I know you want to surf the wave and you all like, this is a flat plane, and what is this that natural's saying? And I understand that. But if you really surfing the wave on these presentations, well, I'm breaking down just how you are connected and even past the firmament. But can you see clearly, Con? Can you see clearly? We talking 360, 720 dragonfly perspective. That is your Merkaba vehicle of ascension. Can you see clearly with a con right now, with a Dre con? Cause them Nagas are bad. Huh? So now that we go ahead and got this all connected and got your confirmation spiraling, well, let's continue to surf the wave, Shabata. Hey, alright, Shabata. So I did a quick little subscription to this script, just so we can view this with no ads this time. You know what I'm saying? And then I quickly went ahead and canceled that joint. But as you can see, you know, I was like, man, I want to surf the wave in the pure water flow. Last time they hijacked this, right? So we're digging on this book. Well, let's get it back. Oh no, wait, what's happening? Alright, so we're digging on this book called Baal's Hybrids, right? Or Baal's Hybrids. And these are supposedly the hybrids of Baal. Alright. And I'm not gonna necessarily focus on this, you know, this type of build and conversation. I have plenty of drops that go into this. I mean, I kind of started off my channel surfing the wave on this stuff because I'm telling you, this was the type of drop that really changed my perspective. It's just what I was looking at, right? And, you know, I tend not to really, well, at least for this drop, we're not going to really highlight, you know, the detail in these things. But I do got videos talking about, you know, these sorts of things in the subject, right? So this is called Baal Hybrids, or Baal's Hybrids. keep in mind, you when I tell you that these guys, you know, went around and had just they ran this experiment. You know what I'm saying? It's not coming from a place of malice or disdain or even hate. You know, but I surfed the wave on what was natural by law, and I uncovered what wasn't. And that's just how it is. It's public record. Hey y'all to the Aqua. Alright, but in this joint, as you can see, right, which is why I got that membership, because I wanted to be able to view it without the commercials. Last time on the Anian drop, they was just throwing ads at us, man, you know. So they want to talk about this reptilian race, right? This reptilian experiment that was a lizard race, right? And these hybrids being a 4th density to 3rd density transfer experiment from the lizard race to the human race, which was abandoned after approximately 240 years of experimentation by the lizard beings due to the lack of success for sustaining physical duplication or reproduction of the race. It was one of the several attempts by the lizard beings to directly transmit their souls into 3D density environment for permanent placement there. Alright, so you gotta understand, this Wata goes deep. You know, and this is where all these humanoids and this so-called reptilian hybridization was dealing with, right? It was talking about the process of artificial insemination of human surrogate mothers, all right, for midterm removal of the fetus. All right, so they were running this experiment on the natural womb man, which is why, you know, we always have to reflect back to this mitochondria, right? Because the source of these other so-called races or beings of people, nationalities, came out of the common ancestor, and that common ancestor is the natural Nagini, right? The natural Nagini, that is the natural woman. All right. So the natural woman, this cosmic Eve, was the common ancestor for for all, you know, all other types of people who aren't rich, melanin rich. You know, the natural ones. You know, and this experimentation has been documented. And like I told you, it did happen in the Americas. We got the Anian drop where we kind of touched on this, right? So we'll surf the wave on the Anian. It says, we have a predator that came from the depth of the cosmos and took over the rules of our lives. Human beings are its prisoners. The predator is our Lord and Master. It has rendered us docile, helpless. And you can understand if you surfing the wave, especially with this reptilian race being the Nagas. And when you understand that this reptilian race are the Nagas, well, you start to understand what they're talking about, right? And this brings religion into a whole new factor, because then these people start seeing you as the God-like beings of these religious texts. And they do feel that you are a predator, which is why we discuss the image of the predator. It wasn't great things that these Naga civilizations introduced, you know, and there was an all-out war based off of it, you know. It says they took over because we are food for them, and they squeeze us mercilessly because we are their sustenance. Just as we rear chickens in chicken coops, the predators rear us in human coops. Therefore, their food is always available to them. And that goes back to this cycle of the moon as well, right? When we're talking about the moon being an artificial satellite. You know, so we surf the wave on all of this. I mean, let's check out the table of contents, right? Interspeciation. So this is the mixing, the molding, trying to perfect that melanated body. Again, continuing from the last drop, right? Creation, procreation at that is such a big thing because these other so-called races weren't always successful at doing so. Again, you have the hybrid dragon kings, the Sasquatch genome, the Reculum grays, grays, right? The Nephilim giants, the hobbits and gnomes, and A1 channel sources. So, like I said, I'm not going to build too much on the hybridization in this drop. Just wanted to bring your attention to something mighty interesting. And you see the phenotypes. And you see what's going on. You know, so understand that the creation process didn't start with so-called pale people. It started with Nagas that looked just like you and I. And it worked its way down. And this is how we know what's really going on when we see these things, because there was a gradual process. Alright? Your Zion, your Scion, your twig off the tree. That is what we're digging on. That not being the root trying to clone their way onto the root. And that's just the Wata, alright? Even when you see in this face, this is a gradual process, alright? It says, the nonsense science of genetics has only begun to unravel the complexities of the human genome and all its billions of unique expressions walking the plane today. New DNA extraction techniques extend the reach of possibility for sequencing ancient humanoid specimens with especially non-human craniofacial features that indicate exoplanetary hybridization of dynastic bloodlines. Just look at the giant faces of Angkor above. The astonishing complexity of human genetics variation cannot be easily explained by slow migratory patterns and occasional mutations along the way, as so many theoretical models maintain. Our growing technological capability for supercomputation is now exposing hybridization patterns within various human lineages based on unmistakable presence of Neanderthal and Denisovan genes in modern populations. Okay, so they were able to take their pick of what was Neanderthal, what was Denisovan, and the such, right? It says, however, the stark reality of exoplanetary mass hybridization of the global terrestrial human population is now becoming evident as compartmentally suppressed data emerges in the digital online archive for public use. Government control of DNA sequencing and analysis technologies have been strictly maintained through academic fronts that actively undermine genuine research into censored topics such as this. Widely accepted hybridization dynamics that account for several percent of the human genome in various haplogroups do not recognize the presence of exoplanetary gene flow into the terrestrial human genetic domain, despite the assertions of indigenous elders around the world that know this is the case. I mean, and when you get into these different mythologies, when you start to talk about the origin, it's almost all of them coming from an animal and a woman. You know, only the natural ones really have this man-woman compound fusion, right? Which is why a lot of folk tend to be matriarchal, right? Because they really come from just the line of the woman by genetic experimentation. All right. I want to bring our attention down right here. It says much older than both the Terracotta Army and the Angkor Temple complex. Much older, right? Much older, as we'll get into later. Keep this in mind. Angkor, right? Keep this in mind. Much older than both the Terracotta Army and the Angkor Temple complex. Megalithic stoneheads were also produced by the so-called Olmec culture of present-day Mexico that preceded the rise of the Maya by several millennia. The rise of the Maya by several millennia. Keep this in mind, right? By several millennia. While the size of these Olmec heads corresponds closely to those of Angkor Temple facades, distinctively African dodge the hijack, right? We're talking so-called melanated faces are immediately evident. So these melanated faces are immediately evident. All right, the Olmec heads are artificial magnetic basalt. Magnetic. It says the megalithic Olmec faces display large eyes, brow or broad cheekbones, flat noses, heavy brows, and square jaws with wide mouths and large undulating lips, rendered with the same exact outline features seen on the giant faces at Angkor. A square glyph over the third eye chakra reads Indra. All right, Indra, which means Jupiter. Now, dodge all hijacks, right? But keep that Indra in mind. Make a side note for this Indra. Okay, now look at how they uncover and unearth. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. So you know these guys were looking at this and they're like, damn, that's definitely not who we are. And that was immediately, right? What did the article say? They recognized this immediately. The faces were immediately evident. So when we're talking about the ancient, when we're talking about the original, when we're talking about the primordial, it does matter. Especially in the world we live today. But the world we live in today is a repercussion, right? Because this is evident that Hawa knocked you off your pedestal. As the originals, Hawa knocked you off your pedestal and buried you underneath the earth, right? Buried you underneath the earth. Because of what was going on. It says this gigantic portrait head of an Olmec ruler indicates the same ruling class dominance, continuing on from the last drop, right, of reptilian hybrids. Now again, we're talking Nagas. You know what I'm saying? We're talking Nagas. Right? Observed at Angkor, and just like the Angkor figures, the Olmecs are wearing large, look, peep the lingo, right? They are wearing large psychoacoustic helmets that act as resonant amplifiers. Like ancient Tibetan metal singing bowls, these helmets were reproduced from dozens of different metals for inducing hemispheric synchronization in the brain and a unified biorhythmic pulsation of the heart with the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands. Now this is some drop on the Omex, right? That we've surfed the wave with on this channel. Hawa, right? But I mean, check on what we're building on. Large psychoacoustic helmets. So we're talking about sounds that act as resonant amplifiers. And Natural's been trying to get you to magnify and amplify your resonance, your frequency. These helmets were produced from dozens of different metals for inducing hemispheric synchronization. That means both sides of the brain, left and right, unifying them in synchronization. Now, isn't that what we've been building on? What was the last drop about? And we're unifying our biorhythmic pulsation. Biorhythmic, that's the biorhythm, the rhythm of the body. It's a natural thing, right? You know what they say about colored people and dancing. This is a real thing. Pulsation of the heart, though. So it had the pulsation of the heart. You know, the pulsation of the heart was unified with the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and pineal gland. So all of these were unified. You know what I'm saying? All of this was unified. Now this is some drop. Can you imagine what was going on? That level of energy harnessing? It says this special class of psychoacoustic helmet was used exclusively within piezoelectric stone chambers geometrically designed for geoposition according to the Atlantean quantum function. And we've been digging on this Anian. You know what I'm saying? The quantum function of Anian. This is an Atlantean function. And we got to dodge our hijacks because we know about the Lemurians. Not everything is Atlantean. This piezoelectric stone, right? We're talking about your quartz crystals, because now we're talking piezoelectricity. Your quartz crystals, your pineal gland, you have crystals in the brain, right? Magnetite, hematite in the brain. We got hematite bracelets on the site to help you build the magnetization in the mind, right? So this is a deep function. This piezoelectricity is what allows your lighter to spark. It's what gives it that flame. It's a charge. These crystals in the computer, which allows us to record. It's in your cell phone. This is how we're able to access the ether. We are reenacting the Zet Tepe. Says the so-called Olmec use of magnetic basalt casting methods in Mexico are identical to the basalt pyramids found in Ecuador. Earthenware psychoacoustic whistles from La Mana, Ecuador are formed as human and giant reptilian figures, shown to scale, each wearing customary psychoacoustic helmets. These refined masterworks were loaded with fine magnetic particles of iron, nickel, and pyrite that reflect the same exotic admixture applied in reconstituted magnetic basalt of the pyramids for resonant transduction of planetary infrasound. Which is why when you go down there to Chichen Itza and you clap and it makes that sound, we'll bring it up next time, but it makes that sound, right? And it's an echo. And that echo, it goes for ranges, and people always want to know why were they so connected to this sound, right? So this is exactly what we're going to surf the wave on, and we're going to see just exactly why and how they were surfing the wave. Max Ahab to the realness. See, surfing the wave with the psychoacoustics is the study of how humans perceive sound, and it's used in a variety of devices and research, including helmets, music, and hearing aids. So helmets, alright? And if they are aware that this is what the ancients were digging on, it's that kind of function and understanding the ancients had that creates a separation. And this is why it matters who the ancients are. Alright. So here we have the photoelectrochemical properties of melanin. The photoelectrochemical properties of melanin. It says melanin is to the animal kingdom like chlorophyll to the vegetable kingdom. Melanin collects energy from lower energy radiation sources, kicks electrons into excited states, initiating a process that would end up producing chemical energy. Similar to the way which photosynthesis supplies energy to plants. However, the precise roles of melanin during this process are unknown. They have no idea how your charge is able to do that. Here we show that the increase in the electron transfer properties of melanin is independent of the energy of the incident photons. So you have multifunctioning processes happening as you're dividing this type of energy. You see what's going on, Shabbatai? You are the image of Hawa. We found in controlled in vivo assays that melanin has the remarkable capability of converting lower radiation towards a more useful form of energy. So it converts lower energy radiation. So anything that you're considering to be ELF, right? Low radiation, your melanin converts that. It converts that towards a more useful form of energy. So it takes the low radiation and conforms it to a useful form of energy, beneficial for you. Furthermore, we found that melanin can break up water molecules and giving up energy, suggesting an additional behavior mode for melanin. Our results demonstrate how members of the melanin family are likely to function as transducers, oxidizing water, pushing apart water molecules, as well as recruiting back ions into molecules that are subsequently polarized again, which means charge. So when these anions go out and get charged, you have the capability of recruiting them back. And you take that energy and then you reuse it. So technically, you're never supposed to run out of energy. Now, riddle me that, Shabbatai, right? Riddle me that. And this is what this charge is. I hope you're enjoying your strong Shabbat Shalom, because you should always be on energy. You should always maintain a consistent level of energy. To be rich in melanin and energy deficient, it's not natural. It says melanin drives the photon energy of lower energy radiation sources by quenching electrons and initiating a ionic event independently of their relative energy contention. Now, what is that? What is this ionic event? What is this ionic event, Shabbatai? Well, I gotta know what this anionic event really is, right? And how it coincides to our collection of energy, this energy contention. So, surfing a wave, you know what I mean? I got here, right? That melanin is regulating ion channels discovery. I mean, they're discovering that melanin regulates ionic channels, your anionic channels. All right. So let's dig on it. It says melanin is our body's natural pigment responsible for the color of hair, eyes, and skin. Yes, we know. Skin disorders such as albinism, vitiligo, and hyperpigmentation occur when our cells abnormally synthesize or underproduce melanin, as in the commonly known albino symptoms of pale skin, eyes, and hair. The underproduction of melanin affects the development and function of the visual system and reduces an individual's protection against ultraviolet radiation. Worryingly, individuals who underproduce melanin are at increased risk of skin and eye cancers, as their DNA is more exposed to harmful ultraviolet radiation. And it just goes to show, like, the natural design. You know what I'm saying? It's even in certain things like this, right? On the opposite side of the spectrum, the overproduction of melanin is usually a benign condition, with many choosing to embrace their unique hyperpigmentation. However, in some cases, the appearance of blotchy and asymmetrical dark patches can have a negative psychological impact. To avoid defective melanin synthesis, a delicate balance of pigment production is required. So melanin can choose to express itself however it wants. Not everyone's flow and charge is exactly the same. Alright, it says melanosomes are specialized organelles with skin melanocytes and ocular pigment cells that regulate the production and storage of melanin. Melanosomes are surrounded by a membrane that contains transmembrane proteins that regulate the flux of anions into or out the melanosomes, a process critical for pigment production in these organelles. And that's basically, terming up, showing how the melanin works. Okay, so it says in their new study, Dr. Oancia's team have discovered a new regulatory protein for the pigmentation process, 2-pore channel, or TPC2. The team had a clue that TPC2 relates to pigmentation, as two mutations in a gene encoding the ion channel were linked to light hair color and fair skin in a 2008 study of Northern Europeans. Using direct patch clamp recordings, a laboratory technique that allows the study of ion channels of skin and eye melanosomes from mouse melanocytes and frog retinal pigment cells, the researchers were able to identify the first reported melanosomal cation conductance mediated by TPC2. Now, this is what I was telling you about, right? When it comes to, where was it at? What was that? Oh, the cation, my bad. When we were digging into anion dropping, we was talking about this cation. All right, and this cation was a part of the electrolysis. That's what she called it, right? Electrolysis process. So this is the same way this dark oxygen was created. With this cation, this anion flow. It says in the laboratory, Dr. Oancia and the co-leaders, authors Nicholas Bolano and Ileana Escobar measured the flux of ions across the membranes that surround the melanosomes found inside melanocytes. They found an electrical current that corresponds to positive ions flowing out of the organelles into the cytoplasm. Now this is all anion, you know what I'm saying? Surf the wave. Notably, this current was found to be independently of the already known OCA2 ion channel. So we have channels of ion, or anionic channels, and you are surfing a wave on that negative ion right now. It says which the same group showed look right here, can't make this up, which the same group showed transports negative ions out of the melanosomes. The new current was consistent with a typical two-pore channel and appeared to depend on the lipid fat named pi35P2 that exists in the membrane around the melanosome and other cellular organelles. Investigating further, the researchers added verapamil to the cell culture, a chemical that blocks the activity of both TPC channels. This stopped the electrical current as they had expected, and further experiments identified that the ion channels are of the TPC2 variety and not the TPC1. It says the team deleted the TPC2 gene using a gene editing tool called CRISPR-Cas9, confirming that the outflow of positive charges from the melanosomes is indeed mediated by the TPC2 ion channel. What's more, they could reestablish the flow of current by adding TPC2 gene back into the cells. During this process, they observed that the melanosomes of cells with fewer TPC2 channels are less acidic and produce more melanin, suggesting that TPC2 is a negative regulator of pigmentation. You see what's going on? TPC2 is a negative regulator of pigmentation. They discovered that TPC2 counterbalances OCA2, a positive regulator of pigmentation. So this OCA2 is a positive regulator of pigmentation, and this TPC2 counterbalances it, right? By increasing the melanosomal membrane potential and acidity to decrease the melanin content. In simple terms, if TCP2 lets out too many positive ions, if TPC2 lets too many positive ions escape, the melanosome, the production of melanin is turned off. So when one lets out too many positive ions, keep this in mind. When you let out too many positive ions, your production of melanin is turned off. All right, your production of melanin is turned off. This is why you got to build on this Naga charge. You got to be able to vibe up, tribe up. You know, my auntie in LA, South Central LA, she grew up, or, I grew up in the 30s. You know what I'm saying? In the 30s. And she used to be like, boy, you can't go outside and hang with everybody else. And I'll be like, why? She'd be like, you can't go out there and hang with them. Not everybody's your friend. And I would just never understand why she would say that, right? Because to me, I wanted to be with my older cousins. I wanted to be with the older ones, you know what I'm saying? And she would always tell me, you can't be with everyone. You got to know who your crowd is. You got to know who your people are. Because not everyone's going to treat you the same. And that goes for, you know, all of us, right? We got to know who our people are. We got to know where the flow is and stick to that and stay with that, because you never know how the next person is going to treat you. So we shouldn't be so eager to be accepted or, you know what I'm saying, even dedicate any ounce of energy outside of the flow. If it's not the tribal flow, you don't know what's waiting for you on that other end. Okay? But if you're building with the real ones, you surfing the wave with the real ones, you charging up with the real ones, you conning up with the real ones, you MHOE with the real ones, you KTC with the real ones, ain't no witchcraft or magic gonna hijack your vibration, my Nagini, my Naga, cause it's over for that. We're gonna carry on. Shalom. Alright, so this is a video for all the wave surfers, the OG, original wave surfers, man. We're gonna be, I think this is Bro Sanchez, you know what I'm saying? I believe so. It didn't have a name, and I didn't find this on YouTube, so hopefully it's a go and we're able to watch it. If not, it'll definitely be on the Patreon, and I'll let the tribe know the Shabbat Tov right about now. But as we see, right, it says 100% proof that you see, right, Mr. You know who may have not, or may have stole the idea of neutral link from the Olmecs and other ancestors. Neutral link or natural link, because keep in mind, neural, excuse me, well then neural link. So let's surf the wave on this. Let's get it.
The Nagini. I really don't believe we was really green physically. I think they're talking about the Nagini, which is what we see at the Aurora Borealis, the transcendent version of.
Keep in mind, we are talking about the Nagini. Yes, and the Nagini is the Lady Naga. So yes, we are talking about her. You see what's going on? And we're talking about you, Shabbat, because them Nagas are bad. Shalom.
Of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Just so the brother know, like, I ain't just being a dickhead. I'm just saying, like, when they talking about the green man or the alien-like guy, Asa, the word Asa is how you get the word auras. The word Asa is literally the word auras rearranged. And when you see Asa, he's green, and they're saying that's what our aura is leaving here when we beaming out, and that's what they made the soul an alien, basically.
Just going off, I'm just giving y'all everything because I just thought about this, right? When I look at the inside of my forearm, I promise you, when I look at my veins, they come out as green. And when we go deep into what veins and what we truly are, what blood really is, and how it can be amplified or decreased in voltage, I can kind of see how those who are truly sentient beings on another level consciously
Could be green.
Could be.
but we're talking about the man who follows David Icke too, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to show you what I don't like about New Age interpretation. We take, right, let me show you what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about, I clearly can see how back in the day with the right amount of this, or right amount of that, a person can be green. And what I'm saying is, what's so special about a green man walking around? Like that would impress a child. Look, mommy, I can be green because I ate my vegetables. The whole concept of being green is dealing with the heart chakra. What they've done with this knowledge is that they...
And what have we literally been surfing the wave on? We can't make this up. Pure water flow. Let's go. Where my Shabata at? Where my Shabata at, man? Where my Shabata at? Let's get it.
want us to misinterpret it behind literally taking our ancestor symbols literally. And guess what you doing? You disrespecting the ancestors. They didn't mean to take this literally. If I go to my homeboy and be like, that's my dog, and you start trying to treat that man like a pit bull and he beat your ass, that's your fault. That's your fault, bro. Because you know damn well it's wrong to take these symbols literally. And that's what we doing.
And keep in mind, who's complaining about symbology? Who's crying about symbology? Who's whining about symbology? We talking a cosmic shift, and it's over for that.
With the ancestor symbols, when the ancestors said, I'm gonna turn into my green man, and you literally want to play with them and want to take these symbols literally, that turns into joking on them with movies like this right here. Everybody else got the right to be symbolic but my ancestors. When they get symbolic, that's when people want to take them literally. That ain't fair, man. So our ancestors can't use symbols, y'all. And I'm going to tell you why. Our ancestors tried to speak to future generations with their symbols. And if you ain't decoding the ancestor symbols, it's because you taking them literally. They were.
You see what I'm saying? Man, this is right within the flow because we've been charging on this same vibration. Hey, how to the real ones. Look at the Nagas. The Nagas are returning. Let's go.
Was not talking about a real green man. This is literally talking about when the Pharaoh's spirit is dead and he's passing on. This is why this is a tomb right here. The whole ET talk with the green man walking around, I get turned up when folks do that because that's literally corrupting the ancestor science. There's a reason why St. Patrick wore green. And he was dealing with the druids, the leprechaun, all them is dealing with the ascended body. Here's the god, the Dagda god. He's wearing green. This is the Celtic culture as well. You can see the goddess Medusa up there. All of this stuff right here, man, is dealing with your soul phoning home. And it ain't no real green man walking. When we go to talking like that, we waste hours and years and books, so many books on ETs and aliens and shit. And ain't no books on the soul for real. Ain't a lot of places you can go to get.
See, you can't read and learn about your book from the soul, Shabbatai. This is what we do this for. We do this for the souls of the soul. We talking you, Harushalah. Harushalayim. All right, we're talking about you, Harushalayim. Harushalayim. That is Hawa Harushalayim. All right, for real.
And it ain't no real green man walking. When we go to talking like that, we waste hours and years and books, so many books on ETs and aliens and shit. And ain't no books on the soul for real. Ain't a lot of places you can go to get this kind of knowledge like what we do here. Where we talking about the Aurora Borealis, dealing with the aura, dealing with what we are, dealing with our journey. Everybody want us talking about E.T., Anunnaki, all this literal stuff that's corrupting it into this pseudo New Age David Icke type shit, you know? That's why the government coming out right now talking about, oh, aliens are real. And they saying it when we're saying aliens are fake. The moment we wake up and say, yo, they've been lying about this alien shit, is really us. We alienated that what we are, what the mind is. That's when the government say, oh, aliens were real, y'all. You see, they trying to stop enlightenment, and y'all, you don't see that shit. And that's that's why the government be like ancient aliens. So that when we go back and look at stuff like this, we would think that the pharaohs were fucking ETs, a little green man, and we won't see that hat that he wearing as a Neuralink helmet. People argue today on whether or not the Egyptians achieved immortality or not. But one thing they agree on is that the Egyptians vanished from the earth. When the pharaoh died, just like they said they gonna do immortality, the little with the pharaoh forever is what they said. This is the immortality that the pharaoh discovered. And we look at all these hats on his head and we don't see the technology that they making us go back with how the pharaoh achieved immortality.
Since we're going to be talking about preparing for a time of crisis, we have a brand new sponsor, All Family Pharma. They're cutting through the red tape to get
that they making us go back with how the pharaoh achieved immortality. The little rays that you see coming from his hat are the Neuralink wires that allow the soul to take flight. So they look like wings, but they're transmitters. Because the wings transmit the bird to his next destination. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Just copy and paste from ancient culture to present. Yeah, that's all. Yes, sir. And you know, I just like bringing in, you know, like smoke. Like, hey, I just wanted to see how people was gonna react to the green veins looking green.
Spot on that one. Salutes to that, bro.
For sure, bro.
And then when I look at that hat, I'm also thinking about the Olmec hats on their head, and we would like to call them the original fez.
I just thought about something when I was looking at this helmet. There's this other little god. He wear this helmet with wings on it. I forgot his name.
Thor.
That's him.
Thor wear the helmet with the wings, the little wings on each side.
Apollo. Yeah,
Thor.
Yes, sir. Apollo.
Hey,
and
bro,
Apollo do too.
Hey, bro, that's the fucking Neuralink shit, bro. They showing us the Neuralink shit, man. Damn, that's crazy.
That's where I was going with that. The Olmec hats. Those were the first Neuralink hats.
Right.
Oh shit.
Now, people will be surfing on, right? We're talking about psychoacoustic helmets. Now, peep how the bro was able to make this connection out of nowhere right now. And you know what they was surfing the wave on. So you see how this is just a pure water flow. Now watch this.
Yes, sir. Apollo.
Hey,
and
bro,
Apollo do too.
Hey, bro, that's the fucking Neuralink shit, bro. They showing us the Neuralink shit, man. Damn, that's crazy.
That's where I was going with that. The Olmec hats. Those were the first Neuralink hats.
Right.
Oh shit, you right, man. The goddamn Olmec, hold on. Oh shit, man. I got
we breaking down some now.
Bro, let me tell you, I'm finna have to go and hey, we gonna have to do this. Remember what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut this shit out and I'm definitely gonna re-upload this on my main channel, bro, cause in sections, cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's the fucking Olmec helmet. Everybody is, and look, I'm gonna show you the transmitters to show we ain't lying. Watch this, watch this. Look at the little bitty balls all over it.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yes, sir. They don't show that side view a lot. They only show the front view. But
now look, hold on, everybody. Just wait a minute. Hold your horses. Let's do the side-by-side breathtaking comparison. Here go the Neuralink with all the holes on it. Now look at the Olmec hat. Now guess what they were saying about the Olmec? That the Olmec were time travelers, immortals, and all that.
Bang. You hear what's going on? You hear what's going on? Let's get it back for a stack. Cause we really surfing the wave now. Shout out to our psychoacoustic helmets. Let's get it.
I'm definitely gonna re-upload this on my main channel, bro. Cause in sections, cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's the fucking Olmec helmet. Everybody is, and look, I'm gonna show you the transmitters to show we ain't lying. Watch this, watch this. Look at the little bitty balls all over it.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yes, sir. They don't show that side view a lot. They only show the front view. But
now, hold on, everybody. Just wait a minute. Hold your horses. Let's do the side-by-side breathtaking comparison. Here go the Neuralink with all the holes on it. Now look at the Olmec hat. Now guess what they were saying about the Olmec? That the Olmec were time travelers, immortals, and all that.
Yep. Taking shrooms to into different portals or.
We're going to go ahead and surf the wave. Shout out to because that's exactly what we talking about. You see what I'm saying? And now it's clear as day. So, you know, A-Hop to Bro Sanchez for this drop. We on to the next one. A-Hop. So, here's this pattern that I came across, right? This pattern. And honestly, Shabbat, I have no idea what this is. But the title of it is Method and Apparatus for the Exploitation of Piezoelectric and Other Effects in Carbon-Based Life Forms. And the stuff that's in here, Shabbat, I was like, huh? It says the invention promotes piezoelectric effects in carbon-based life forms using specific geometries, ratios, frequencies, and combination therein using associated vibrational states functioning in part as a bidirectional holographic transducers between the acoustic and current magnetic domains. Electromagnetic, current magnetic domains. Now this is crazy because this is exactly what we surfing the wave on, huh? I mean, he's talking about building some contraption with this joint, and this just blew my mind. Like, this is somebody's patent, so I don't know what the hell it is, but I mean, it'd be interesting, you know, to share this with the tribe and, you know, maybe somebody else develop some Wata, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just spreading the Wata. Look at what we're building on, right? And he's talking about the same thing that the Omex was building on. Who we really know are the Tamoanchans, you know? This is the Anian. You see what's happening? You know, we're talking one half of the Merkava sphere. We got a super Merkaba vehicle right here. It's crazy. Alright. I mean, he got all kind of stuff in this joint. You know, like, what's this talking about? Progression from point 0 dimensional to line 1 dimensional to point 2 dimensional to space 3 dimensional and beyond leads us to question if mapping from higher order dimension to lower ones loses vital information, as we readily observe with optical illusions resulting from third to second dimensional mapping. Then perhaps our fixation with a three-dimensional space introduced crucial distortions in our view of reality that a higher dimensional perspective would not lead us to. The 3, 4, 5 or the 5, 12, 13 and 7, 24, 25 triangles are examples of right triangles whose sides are whole numbers. The 3, 4, 5 triangle is contained within the so-called King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid, along with the 2/3 root, whatever that is, right? Utilizing the various diagonals and sides. Okay, so then he's getting into Platonic solids, tetrahedrons, cubes. I mean, he says they're all ideal primal modes of crystal patterns that occur throughout the world of minerals and in countless variations. These are the only 5 regular polyhedra. That is the only 5 solids made from the same equilateral and equiangular polygons. To the Greeks, these solids symbolize fire, earth, air, spirit, or ether, and water, respectively. Damn, I can't believe we ran into this, right? It says the cube and octahedron are duals, meaning that one can be created by connecting the midpoints of the faces of the other. Wow, so we're really just picking back up from where we left off. Like, we can't make this up. It says the icosahedron and decahedron are also duals of each other, and 3 mutually bisecting golden rectangles can be drawn connecting their vertices and midpoints respectively. The tetrahedron is dual to itself. So I mean, this kind is over here going off, you know what I'm saying? Man, he's talking about spirals and arcs and whirls and symmetrical patterns of natural occurring phenomena. Like, this guy's surfing a crazy wave right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What is he doing? Like, this is crazy. You know, I'm over here just sharing his drop, I couldn't help it though, Shabbat. I'm gonna share it. Man, this guy's on one. Okay, we surfing a wave. What is this? Fullerenes. So now we're talking shungite, huh? Fullerenes. Go surf the wave on the site for the shungite drop. But yo, definitely might have to come back and get this. You see, the Wata is only gonna get better and better surfing the wave, Shabbat, because this is getting crazy. You know, what is bruh up to? What is going on? Okay. So I just thought that this was a trip, you know what I'm saying? Building on this sound and resonance, it seems like this is his patent to something. I don't know what he was trying to build or what he was implementing, but I just thought it was interesting. So we're going to carry on and surf the wave. Max Ahab to the real ones. So here we have the physiology of the pineal gland and melatonin, right? It says the pineal gland was described as the seat of the soul by Rene Descartes and it is located in the center of the brain. The main function of the pineal gland is to receive information about the state of the light-dark cycle, right? So the state of the light-dark cycle from the environment and convey this information by the production and secretion of the hormone melatonin. It says changing photoperiod is indicating by the duration of melatonin secretion and is used by photoperiodic species to time their seasonal physiology. So maybe these Tamoanchans was using these psychoacoustic helmets to generate this melatonin secretion. They were hyper concentrating this melatonin secretion. It sounds like maybe they were sending it to unify the hemisphere of the brains. You know, they were making it one along with the heartbeat and the pulse of the heart back to the pineal gland. These guys was on something crazy. Can we see what's going on right now? It says the rhythmic production of melatonin normally secreted only during the dark period of the day is extensively used as a marker of the phase of the internal circadian clock. So your melanin does regulate your circadian clock, and this is your natural rhythm. You know, you get into the rhythm of things. You naturally wake up at a certain time, you go to sleep at a certain time, you get hungry at a certain time, you get a certain way at a certain time. All of these things are building on your circadian clock, your circadian rhythm. All right. It's very interesting though, because they're saying that normally this melatonin is produced during the nighttime, the dark period. So that means that maybe, you know, these ancient ones, they were secreting this melatonin during the day. So we're really talking about a high function concentration, something that was only meant to be done at night. They're concentrating during the day. It says melatonin itself is used as a therapy for certain sleep disorders related to circadian rhythm abnormalities, such as delayed sleep phase syndrome and non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder and jet lag. It might have more extensive therapeutic applications in the future, since multiple physiological roles have been attributed to melatonin. It exerts physiological immediate effects during night or darkness, and when suitably administered has prospective effects during daytime when melatonin levels are undetectable. In addition to its role in regulating seasonal physiology and influence the circadian system and sleep patterns, melatonin is involved in cell protection, neural protection, and the reproductive system, among other possible functions. Pineal gland function and melatonin secretion can be impaired due to accidental and developmental conditions such as pineal tumors, cranial, for whatever that would be, injuries affecting the sympathetic inversion of the pineal gland, and rare congenital disorders that alter melatonin secretion. All right, so it seems like these guys were just rolling around, hyper concentrating the secretion and the production of this melatonin secretion during the day, maybe. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it says the main function of the pineal gland is to receive and convey information about the current light-dark cycle from the environment via the production and secretion of melatonin cyclically at night or dark period. Although in cold-blooded vertebrates, low vertebrate species, the pineal gland is photosensitive. This property is lost in higher vertebrates. In higher vertebrates, light is sensed by the inner retina, the retinal ganglion cells that send neural signals to the visual areas of the brain. Melanopsin a few retina ganglion cells contain melanopsin and have an intrinsic photoreceptor capability that sends neural signals to non-image forming areas of the brain, including the pineal gland, through complex neuronal connections. The photic information from the retina is sent to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the SCN. The major rhythm generating, so this SCN is the major rhythm generating system or clock in mammals, and from there to other hypothalamic areas. Whoa, so this is getting back to the brain. So they were really regulating the rhythm generating system or clock. So, I mean, can you imagine what they were able to do if this is the case? This is really how they got back into this so-called superpower, right? It says when the light signal is positive, the SCN secretes gamma aminobutyric acid, responsible for the inhibition of the neurons that synapse in the paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus. Consequently, the signal to the pineal gland is interrupted and melatonin is not synthesized. On the contrary, when there is no light and darkness, the SCN secretes glutamate, responsible for the PVN transmission of the signal along the pathway to the pineal gland. However, it is important to note that in continuous darkness, the SCN continues to generate arithmetic output without light suppression, since it functions as an endogenous oscillator, master pacemaker, or clock. The rhythm deviates from 24 hours and free runs in the absence of the important light time cue. Light dark cycles serve to synchronize the rhythm to 20 Shabbatah. Are we reading this correctly? So did the Olmecs, did the Tamoanchans know how to dodge the hijack? Did they wear those helmets so that they didn't have to worry about a 24-hour time period and they were on free runs? I mean, this technically means no rest day, right? This technically means no rest day. So maybe they weren't keeping their strong and they were on free runs. They didn't care about a rest period or no 24 hours. They were on continuous go. Go, 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 go. This is crazy. This is crazy, Shabbatah. What did we just discover right now? They were using those helmets to continuously secrete their rhythm, their biorhythm, their circadian rhythm. And they needed this melatonin to give it the boost. So they were highly concentrating. I mean, oh man, this is crazy, Shabbatah. What? Let's go. I don't know what's going on. Oh man. We're gonna have to surf the wave. I mean, cause what were we looking at? What are we dealing with? Oh man, right? So seeing how the psychoacoustics is the study of how humans perceive sound, they were using sound to harmonize and unify the hemisphere of their brain, which allowed this forever ending flow of this melatonin. Right? And they're talking about this process. So this is the process that they were building on. So they're saying from this light, oh my goodness. So I understand now. They were harnessing the light straight to the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. You see what's going on? And they were using this energy to unify the hypothalamus. Not only the hypothalamus, but the heart as well. These Nagas are Shabbatah. This is intense. You getting it with me in real time. This is intense. Can you guys see what's going on? So this affects your physiology and your behavior. So can you imagine how they were operating? Right? Because they said that this SCN was produced the most during darkness. Right? And that this light calcifies it. So they were wearing this helmet to sonically unify through resonance. They were hyper intensifying and concentrating this constant charge. And I'm freaking out. I'm tripping out right now because it's like I'm in real time understanding what they were doing if this was the case, and there's no doubts that the psychoacoustic capabilities that Chitsanisa has, I've seen it and felt it myself, Shabbatah. Wow. See what happens when we surf the wave and tribe up together? Oh man. You know what I'm saying? says the suprachiasmatic nucleus via inhibitory projection to the paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus. It controls the sympathetic output to the pineal gland that is responsible for melatonin secretion. This pathway is responsible for the peak of melatonin during darkness. These Nagas was out here getting the reset you get from going to sleep without going to sleep and constantly building that pineal gland without stop and without it having to be dark. These Nagas were crazy. Shabata, do you know what that means? Do you know what this means? Natural's having a moment. Natural's having a moment. We are uncovering the Tamoanchans, man. They can never be called the Olmecs, never again after the wave we're surfing right now. We are talking about the Tamoanchans. These are your cons. Hawa. Yo. I hope whenever you get this, you are charged up, cause I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because when we're digging on the ancient ones, it's starting to make a whole lot of sense. These Nagas, they were on the mission, just like how we're on the mission. We're on the mission right now, Shabata, and that mission is to the Wata, Halahawa. I mean, you see what's going on. You see the phenotype. This was the vibe that the ancients was on. These Nagas was on one. They was tripping. Nagas is tripping right now. We tripping. Oh, we tripping. Oh, we tripping. Cause they understood exactly what it is that we've been trying to tell you, Shabata. And that is that your melanin is a natural molecule or substance that gives color, life, and consciousness to every tree, plant, animal, Mother Earth, and the universe while connecting them with one another. You see what's going on? We were digging on that patent. It was talking about a carbon-based substance. Even though we aren't necessarily carbon-based, we just are carbonated. Carbon. Okay, the carbon copies are carbon-based, but still, it's the substance in the human body that is a necessary part of the current magnetic, the electromagnetic, the current magnetic system, and provides color for the hair, eyes, and skin. Melanin also tapping into this dark matter consciousness. Just keep in mind, we were talking about your ISM, your interstellar medium, and they said that your melanin is this interstellar medium. Halahuwa, Max Tawada to Ama and Abba, Halaka, 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 Shabata, Halaka, Shabata, Halaka, Shabata. See, this melanin is just a gift from the cosmos, man. Your melanin is a gift of the cosmos, man. And this is the cosmic shift. Are we shifting gears on that hijack? Cause ain't no going back. Ain't no going back. Cause when we're talking about this ancient flow, man, it matters. When we're talking about this ancient flow, it matters. Why does it matter? Because look at how they depict themselves. You see the phenotype? So now we can understand the concentration behind what they was doing. You know what I'm saying? This battle was a real one. And I mean amongst ourselves. But you see the phenotype. Because we're always building on that phenotype. We're talking about the Tamoanchans on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Glad to see The real ones still continuing that Wata. They try to shut us down and we just come back 10 times stronger. But you see the phenotype, it don't lie. The phenotype don't lie, letting you know what was really just going on. Oh yeah, cause this is for my strongs. This is for the strongs. We surfing the wave. Because when you understand that melanin is the most ancient and worldwide pigment in living organisms, the very thing that occurs or that colors the bark on trees brown and the soil of the earth, it dwells in your very essence. You know what I'm saying? It is in your essence, and that's what they knew. They had the drop on the drop, and that drop is you, Shabata. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, they found you here. Just like this. Big chilling. And there was a reason. I mean, we're learning something about these psychoacoustic helmets. We're talking about that sound. Okay? They want to say Big Bang. That's the voice of Hawaii. Yeah. Are we charged up? We are charged up. See, the phenotype ain't gonna lie. That phenotype ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make them tell the truth. We gonna make them tell the truth. Each and every time. Cause them Nagas are bad. Them Naginis are bad. Alright? Found in Mexico. They said that they were made by the Mixtecs. So if you're imagining Mixtecs, you see what's going on? The phenotype, man. The image of Hawa, Hala Hawa. Okay? I mean, the stone's gonna speak for itself, man. Somebody said Birdman hand rubs. We just surfing the wave. Alright, now I know this is a Moshika. But P, we're still talking Veracruz on you. Right? Remember what they were talking about, this reptilian hybridization. You know, we're talking Veracruz, Mexico City. We're still talking Omed. You see the fusion of Asiatic and Negroid features. Old world flow, my naga. And if this is Mexico, was letting you know, based off this, what the phenotype really is. Because obviously you can see what's happening. Still talking Veracruz. They're referring to this one being a head of a sacrificed Negro, showing three wounds from the Veracruz classic. You see what's happening? The phenotype, it don't lie. Yeah. more of that Asiatic flow, huh? CC Marquez says the Negro type is seen in the most ancient Mexican sculpture. Negro figures frequently in the most remote traditions. Riva Palacio, Mexican historian, says it is indisputable that in very ancient times the Negro race occupied our territory, Mexico, when the two continents were joined. The Mexicans recall a Negro god, Extilton, which means ether phase. Extilton, which means ether phase. Surfing the wave, come, cause it's a charge. I mean, we just looking at indigenous Gucci, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Indigenous Gucci, man. Alright? No pun intended. Because when we're talking the phenotype, we're consistently talking you, Shabata. And that's something they can't deny. I mean, you see it. And keep this image in mind, because it's going to be needed for when we touch on some things continuing on. But just remember, we were talking about this image and how the people look and what they resemble. You see what's happening? Signatures include all across the cosmos. Because the ancients had no intention on leaving you out. Alright. So we see what's happening. And we see what's going on. So if these Nagas was doing time travel, astral travel, interstellar travel, starting to, high technology, huh? So we're just tapping back into that. We're just coming back into that. It's just them Nagas on the return, on the return. Alright. Stone fragment, Olmec head from Leventa, pre-classic. We gonna make them tell the truth. I mean, it don't get no more evident than that. This has always been you. And we know what was up under that helmet. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how to the real ones, man. Happy, strong, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah. Alright. phenotype, man. Ancient America, Tamoanchans. These phenotypes, man, they talk on their own. The ancients depicted themselves, spoke for themselves. And this is how they were found. Just like this. By people who look like this. Can't tell you who you are, how can they tell you who you're not? There's a reason that this is like this. All this. Keep in mind, right? If we're still talking psychoacoustic helmets, yeah, these cons was running it up. They wasn't keeping they Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, we gonna continue that investigation though, cause that was some next stellar drop right there. For the cons, man. You see what's going on. Phenotype. Alright, don't let them play with you, man. Oh, it's just this. Nah, we talking phenotype. Consistency is key. Just like your genealogy. You see what's going on? So these cons was popping off, man. Interstellar vibes, man. Tamoanchans. The introduction. Yeah. Some Nagas back, man. Told you that flame is lit. Straight off the press to the Shabbatah. We appreciate all the orders coming in off the site, man. We chefing up some new ones for you right now. Max Aha to everyone that got their packages. Yeah. Cause it's an honor to vibe with a tribe like this. With a tribe like this. Cause this is only for a tribe like this. Allahu. Eagle or Quetzalcoatl, you take your pick. Sumerian bird, you take your pick. We're just talking ancient old world over here. And we still got the phenotype. I mean, look, Atlantean vibe, right? I mean, you see it. So if this is the frequency, and if this was really Thoth or Thoth as we know it, then we know what happened then, huh? Yeah, we know those cometas came through, because you know what happened in that area, man, right off that Gulf. That's why they really fighting for these resources. You know what's at the bottom of this Gulf? You know about the cenotes? Do you know about the cenotes? Do you know what's really going on with this Gulf? Do you really know why the Most High sent them cometas down? Oh, no, huh? Do you really know what's about to happen? Do you really see what's on the way? Cause ain't no going back for us. I mean, you see it. Is this a fish? Is this a dolphin? Look at this. You see what's going on? It's a fin of some sort. This Nagas surfing the wave in the water. So he's fresh out the water. You see what I'm saying? People he's fresh off the water. He don't hear about no kind of aquatic life in this mythology when it comes to the so-called Omegs. That's why you know you're looking at the Tamoanchans. Strictly from my tribe. Straight out the ether. You see what's happening? All right. So Max Tawada, we definitely got some more drop for you, but we're gonna go ahead and clip it at this part. So I'm gonna be able to make sure I get it to the Shabbat, man. I definitely want to make sure we was able to surf the wave. But if y'all feeling this will definitely be back ASAP. Yeah, 'cause we still got some more to dig through. Definitely wasn't done. But we not gonna make another 3-hour video. We already getting there. Max Tawada, again to everyone surfing the wave with the GoFundMe, surfing the wave with the website, all links down below, because this is strictly just for you. The Shabbatah, that is the Wata, a miraculous wave. And man, you know what I'm saying? I have so much more still to build on. But we will bring it back for you, Shabbatah, because I had no clue that I was going to even do this drop. But, you know, it was a charge. So Max Tawada, to everyone surfing the wave, no matter where you are, all across the plane. May you see yourself in these vibrations and get to know yourself in these vibrations so that you can come back on home to these vibrations. That is your Ama, your Abba, Halahawa, most high over everything. And I hope you are KTC, that is keeping the code. Until the next time, Shabbat, we up on out of here. Halak, halakah, shalom. We gone.